Sean, when I was in Australia, I noticed that all the estate agents had their pictures everywhere. And they also, again, you go in America, they've all got their pictures everywhere. It's almost they're selling the person, not the estate agency brand. Do you think that would work in the UK?
Definitely, 100%. I mean, for me, it's all about the agent, the individual person and their personal brand. And I ask all our agents to promote themselves. So their personal brand is their picture, their name, and people want to deal with other people.
People buy from people.
Exactly. I saw Daniel Priestley the other day at one of the conferences, and he's got a great book, and I'd strongly recommend it, called Oversubscribed. But he talks about personal branding, and he mentioned that if you think of the word Google and wanted to know what colour the first G in Google is, he asked the audience, and people were saying it's yellow, it's green, it's blue, it's red, and
blue, or is it green? I don't know.
Yeah, so very, very few people can answer that question, although we see that brand every single day. But if I said, what does, I'm trying to think of someone now, but Jamie Oliver look like?
Yeah.
People will
say, I can see me in a picture.
Yeah, in your
I
mind.
Create a story in my head. Yeah.
So when people see a picture of a person, they tend to connect with them. It builds trust automatically, even though they've never seen them.
People do business with people they trust.
Exactly. And if they sort of feel like and Daniel talks about whether people, if they like you and they know you and they trust you, they'll want to do business with you.
I agree.
And part of this process is introducing the agent, and they want to be able to sort of find out about that agent. So that agent might have a blog or a video, and you get to know that person. Now, most estate agents will tell you, the agents that are going out listing, they've instructed them because of that individual, and they don't care whether that individual works for this estate agent, that estate or the other. Yeah. And often they track the agent down and go, oh, I noticed you've moved now, I wanted to use you to sell my house. And if somebody recommends an estate agency, and say they recommended Connells, for example, the person that's being recommended, they recommended Connells, but there was an individual there who was particularly good. But what happens is when someone rings up that estate agency, they might not get the same person. And if there's 3 people working there, one might be really good, one might be really bad, one might be average, but you don't know what you're getting. You don't know who you're getting. Often you're ringing up an estate agency, anyone could be coming out. Whereas now, people want to ring up and say, I want to speak to Jonathan or David or Lee because my friend used them to sell their house. And those agents could be working for anyone. They could have any umbrella brand behind them, but it is the agent, and they need to promote this.
So at the moment, I think it's fair to say in most UK estate agencies, it's all about the brand, isn't it?
It's all about the brand, yeah.
Okay. So is it a balance between the brand and the company brand and the personal brand? Where does that balance lie?
I would say it's, the personal brand is as important, if not more important, than the business brand.
Yes.
So on all our marketing material, we've got for sale signs, we have the agent's picture and our logo, but you can see the agent.
Look at that bad boy.
Yeah. So the agent, that's who people want to deal with. The reason there's a logo, and that could be any logo, any company, they want to deal with Lee in this instance. But if Lee was just on his own, working from his back bedroom, you probably wouldn't have the credibility. So a brand or logo, being part of a business, gives you credibility. The sellers want to know that they're going to deal with someone who's got a team behind them, a company behind them. It's a professional organisation, and the standards. So they don't want to deal with a one-man band estate agency. Well, they want to deal with the person, but also part of a company.
Well, I actually agree with you. I used to work for one of the UK's largest franchise brands, and some people would buy the brand, open up on the high street, put a nice logo, and it's a very, very well-known brand, and expecting business to walk through the door, and it doesn't. Yeah. I think company brands is like a coat of credibility.
Yes.
But it's the person who wears the coat that's just as important, if not as important, if not more important.
Yeah, and they have to be good, because you can have the best agent in the world, but if he's working for a company that's offering poor marketing and poor websites and poor standards in any other area, he's going to struggle to get the listing. But in the same way that you can have the best business branding and marketing and company, but if the wrong agent goes out and doesn't do a great job, so they work together.
Okay,
So
what
important.
other examples of marketing could you show me now? And what we'll do is we'll leave these behind and give them to the video guys, and they can actually put it up on the screen as we're talking. So show me some examples, what you've got, where personal branding can also work in other marketing.
Yeah, so I would say pretty much every marketing material we produce would have the agent's details on. So there could be a new to the market.
Okay.
This is a direct mail
have a look at
card
this.
or postcard.
So where do you send those to then?
So that would go. So as soon as a house comes on the market,
Okay.
this is the crucial part about estate agency fees and how to charge higher fees. And maybe I can explain that later when I talk about how to justify a higher fee. But that's direct mail card that would go to houses that are currently for sale with other estate agents.
So basically, you do a radius of the property. You've already got the addresses through either your own efforts or using Spectre or Richard Rawlings services, and send that out. That must be quite a cheeky. I bet you're sending this out to other properties that are on the market with other agents.
Yes.
I bet you get some decent listings off the back of those, don't you?
Well, when people get that, so for example, one of the things we do is an open house, and we want to send out invitations to that open house. So if the property is a 3-bedroom semi at 300,000, the person that's going to buy that is probably selling a house between 100 and 250,000.
Probably been on market 12 weeks, a bit pissed off, technical term.
Yeah. So when we write to them, we're saying, first of all, we feel that those people are obviously probably going to buy another house.
Yes.
They're probably going to move locally, and they're probably going to buy something bigger. So we're inviting them to come along. And when they come along, they might actually be interested in the house, because they might just come along to see what the open house thing is all about.
Yes.
So on the postcard, it will say that new and property experts have a very successful open house marketing strategy. And the benefits to the seller are, 1, that they get the best price because there's multiple bidders. 2, it's convenience because all the viewings are on one day. And 3, it's the certainty because we have a 90% success rate. So if you would like to know more about our open house marketing strategy, come along to or call us, or come along to our open house on Saturday. So there may be a load of people that think, well, I'm not interested in buying the house, but I wouldn't mind seeing what they do. And they go along to the open house, and there's 20 people viewing this house.
Of which probably 10 are being nosy, but the other genuine ones are going, bloody hell, we need to get this bought.
Yeah. And they're thinking, well, they've had 20 viewings on one day. We haven't had 20 viewings in 3 months. So they're more likely to come to us to sell theirs.
So maybe we could talk about this in another video in a lot more depth. Is that all right?
Yeah, sure. So I mean, we've got headed paper here.
This is good stuff.
Every agent has their own headed paper. All the leaflets, the brochures, window cards, business cards.
Nice property stats. I like that. That's good.
Yeah. So anything we produce, we'll have the agent's details on, and even on our website, under the property, it'll have the agent that's dealing with that property. And the thing is that when someone's ringing up, if they've seen the for sale sign or on the website, it's got the agent's details, they know that if they ring that number, they could speak to John, the guy who's listed that house, who knows about that house. There's nothing worse than ringing up and you go, oh, can I speak to someone about this house? And they say, oh, the person's in that's not in, or I haven't seen that one, or I don't, you're almost like, is it worth ringing them up? Whereas you're dealing with the agent who's listed
Okay, but let's just say I'm an estate agency boss running my own company. This is, if you don't mind me saying, this is great if I'm a valuer or a lister and I work for, I'm not working for Newman's, are you? Because it's almost a self-employed model.
It's a business partnership,
Okay. Do you think this would work as an employees?
Totally. I mean, I think every estate agency business should promote their individuals.
But hold on a second. If they're straight employees, let's just say Lee was an employee and not a partner where you split the fees, then Lee could bugger off and set his own business up, couldn't he?
Yeah, he could. And he could with me. He could leave tomorrow and set up on his own. But this is where the estate agency business has got to provide an irresistible proposition that people.
Well, we talked about this in the previous video about the way the structure of way estate agencies are built is fundamentally broken, and we both agreed on that.
Yeah, yes, totally. Because the agents are doing the work, aren't getting paid enough.
So how the hell, if you are going down the strict boss employed route, how the hell do you get to keep your equivalent of Lee or Mary?
I think the proposition has got to be good. It's not all about the money, because if you look at all the surveys about why people work in places, it's not always about the money. It's recognition, it's reward, it's someone saying thank you, someone saying well done. it's being part of a team, it's having fun. If you like the people you work with and you're having fun, there might be someone paying a lot more. And you think, do you know what? I just love the people here.
But Sean, what if I'm an estate agency boss and I run my own independent agency and I've got 2 or 3 great valuer negs, thinking to myself, I want to let them run the show and me take a step back. Could that MD convert their business into a self-employed hub model?
Yeah, definitely. And that is what I'd strongly recommend they do, because if they don't, these people might be leaving anyway to go and join someone else's hub. But also, if you're the business owner, you might be going out and doing the valuations and listings, but if you want to stop doing that and you want your agents to be doing that, and you can take a little bit of a back step, and then you've got your agents that are going to work harder because they don't feel like they're employees. I think this relationship between an employer and employee can be a bit fragmented, because it's like the employer will tell the employee what to do. The employee's thinking, I've got to have meetings and I'm being micromanaged and I'm being told what to do. Whereas in this relationship, the agent feels like a business partner and is actually got skin in the game, and we're working together. And I want my agents to do well and earn a lot of money. I want to pay them more, rather than most employees want to pay their agents less.
Yes, because the more they earn, the more you earn.
Of course, yeah. We're aligned, with our goals are aligned, and we want the same thing.
Interestingly, 6 months ago, I predicted, when I went to see Keller Williams and spoke with Ben, the boss man there, that I believe online agents are not the biggest threat in estate agency.
Yeah.
I'm not going to use the word threat, but I predict in the next 5 to 10 years, 30% of estate agents will be using this hub model, at least.
I totally agree, because it's a win-win. It's good for the business owner, it's good for the agent, it's good for the clients, it's mutually beneficial. It's definitely the way forward. And we need to get rid of this sort of employer mentality. How can we pay them less? How can we make them work harder? How can we get them to do this? When agents are running their own business, and this isn't right for everyone, but the agents that want to be more entrepreneurial, and my business is about helping agents become entrepreneurs, helping them, fulfill their potential, achieve their income goals, their lifestyle goals, not just working lots and lots of hours, but actually having that work-life balance, so they can pick the kids up at 3 o'clock and watch them on a Saturday play football. And so if they've only got to focus on those 4 things, which is the prospecting, listing, selling and negotiating offers, they're not stuck in an office answering the call from someone who's, wants to know something.
Well, you're here today, and what I've got you to commit to, boys and girls, is that Sean is actually going to talk through the perfect hub model, and I've asked him to hold nothing back. So we'll do those videos later, and they'll be on the playlist later on. So thank you very much, Sean.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Thank you.